All right, what is up, everybody? It is Alpha, and today we got a new perspective for you on the channel. We're going to try out this driving and talking thing, kind of see how it goes. What the conversation is going to be today is one of my friends asked me the other day, why don't you drive your car everywhere? Like, you don't, when we go out to eat, like, you don't take it. When we go, if you go to Sam's or something, you don't take it. Hang on. Like, you don't take it, like, why don't you take it anywhere? And the main reason is car thefts. Second reason is door dings and scratches and just getting backed into, stuff like that. So we're gonna go over the car theft situation mainly. Now, depending on what list you look at, the Dodge Charger Hemi will be on different areas, but it's usually in the top 10, top 5. And I've seen some that have it as number 1, that the Dodge Charger Hemi is the most stolen car in America. Now, that's kind of, a little nerve-wracking when you own and drive it. So, this is kind of me explaining, almost as if I'm talking to him, why I don't take it everywhere I go. Okay, so we'll start with like grocery stores or big parking lots like malls. So say you're at the grocery store or mall, and usually you can't park up front. You gotta be pretty lucky. But if you drive cars like this, a lot of people, what they'll do is park in the back. And like, yeah, park in the back because nobody parks back there. I can park, by myself, and I ain't gotta worry about somebody getting beside me. And while that is true, that you usually won't have people park beside you, the issue is, say you're in the back getting your milk, and suddenly car light goes off. Hey, car's shaking, your engine's starting. It's going to take you a second to get through the whole store out to the back of the parking lot. By then, you're probably just going to be hearing your tires squealing and your engine going and your car's driving off. Now, I mean, that's worst case scenario. I'm sure most cases in a Walmart parking lot, people are not going to be that bold, but you never know. Sometimes they are. But the main reason for me in like Walmarts and Sam's is, the main reason I don't go to like Walmarts and stuff like that, malls in it, is, to me, it's just kind of risky to park it out in these big parking lots because, one, I can't see it, and two, if somebody door dings it, I mean, it's just damage to your car that they're not probably going to pay for. They're probably going to dip out and be like, oops. And now your $60,000, $70,000 car has damage on it. For what? And I'm really bad. So I'm really bad too. Like, if we go to eat, I won't take the car because I don't want food or drink in my car, period. Like, I'm really bad about that. I know there was one time we went to get some food and we were in the car, and there, somebody was like, well, I'm gonna have leftovers. I'm like, you ain't bringing them in my car. Like, I told y'all before we started, I don't do food or drink, and I'm serious. And of course it was like, oh my God, we're so protective. What's the big deal? Well, for me, this is the car I want to keep pristine. So, like, I know somebody that says they only allow water in their Scat Pack. I don't even want water, just because if it gets wet, I just don't want nothing happening. I know this is kind of the first time it's coming out. I think I have sleep apnea, like, really bad. Like, I will yawn all day. Like, I don't know why. Some days I don't have that issue, and some days, I can yawn all day. Like, I could sleep forever and get no rest. See if we can get through right here. But, yeah, I just don't want food or drink in the car because I don't want oils and greases and stuff. Like, even when we go to eat, no leftovers. And I'm like, yeah, we got to wash our hands before we leave, especially if it was greasy food. I don't want that fingerprints on my car. Like, you can kind of see maybe up here on my dash where they were putting in the window tint. I'm aching to see that. Like, that's probably, I'm going to have to wipe that off at some point in the next day or two. Like, that irks me. And I'm really protective of my car. Now, it has nothing to do with car theft and stuff like that. That's just me being picky. But that's just a little side note. And then you got parts of town. Like, imagine what parts of town you're like, I really... Like, if it's a part of town I know I wouldn't even want to walk around that part of town, I'm sure as hell not going to park my car in that part of town and leave it unattended, much less just stop and be in it. Like, I'm just not... It's just not worth it for me. Like, there's no point even being over there. And it's a lot different when, say, I'm in the Camry. Speaking of a Camry, there's one right beside me. I don't know if you can see the rearview mirror. I have one of those, but in black. I take that thing everywhere because it's so common. Everybody's like, are you really going to steal a Camry? You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing really to gain off of that. Versus one of these, they're not nearly as common. Not nearly as common. Like, in town, I've only run into like a handful of Scat Pack wide bodies in town. None of them are this color. So these are a lot more prone for theft between the rarity versus like a Camry. The rarity of a Camry versus Dodge Charger Scat Pack wide body. The other difference is, that one, it's got a little bit of horsepower. This one's, got almost 500 horsepower. Got a lot more power to it. So, but, if I'm going to steal a car, am I going to steal like a $25,000, $30,000 car? Or am I going to steal like a $65,000 car? That's based on it. Thank you, Uniden. We will not be going through that red light anyway, but I appreciate the heads up. So it's a lot more prone for theft. So I won't go to certain parts. And then at nighttime, like, I'll drive at night a little bit. I mean, I'm usually, depending on the day, at night I'm either, out at the pub or bar or wherever we go to, shoot some pool, have some drinks. I'm probably in the Camry because it's parked outside. Sunday night, I got to go to bed. I wake up at, like 4 in the morning. Because I have such early mornings, I can't be out late at night. I would not drive this thing. At night, I'd do like roads like this, down the downtown strip or something like that, where I know if somebody tried to come do something, I can get on and get out. I'll go to a friend's house if he's in a good area of town. Like, one of my friends, he lives on the other side of the county, but it seems like a good knit neighborhood. No one's going to do anything dumb. Now, going the opposite direction of where I'm going right now, there's a part of town very well known for crime. I'm not taking this thing over there. And so you just got to be careful about where you would go. Like, there are certain places this thing does not need to go, certain times it doesn't need to be out, because it's just asking. Eventually, it's just asking for something to happen. You're rolling the dice, taking the chances. And for me, it ain't worth the chances, because, at nighttime you really can't enjoy it as much because, or everyone else can't enjoy it because they can't see it. So it's like, what's the point of taking it out? If you want to go have some fun at night, hey, go have some fun. Like, for me, on these roads at night, these are slower roads, but it's about the only roads we got. I'm so tired of being tired. No, that Corvette. No, we are glancing at each other. Look at these dudes. Look, he's about busted his ass. Dang. I guess they got a little bit of skill. But yeah, definitely certain parts of town I would not recommend taking this to here. Certain times of night, she's getting put up. No parking lots. God, dude, the roads out here are horrible. Just stuff like that to really consider. And so another thing I recommend to people is that, like, have security features. So for example, I will always have like security features in your car, tracking stuff. So like currently I got the AirTag in a hidden location. Got car lock, and I got the Uconnect system. I'm really looking into getting the was it like the Viper or something, the kill switch, where you can go in your app, hit the button, and your car won't start. Like, it kills the ability to drive the car. I'm really looking into that, so that way it really prevents theft. You might get a broken window, but you keep the car. Because I'd rather spend a few hundred, 120, whatever, a few $100 on glass than having to figure out how to track down or replace a $64,000 car. Damn, there's a train. We're gonna bust a left right here. I'm gonna bust a left. So yes, it takes some money on some of these things to invest in security. But when you are driving a car, when it gets to a certain cost, you almost have to. You almost have to. I know it sucks because you're like, I just want to buy this car and enjoy it, and it sucks because you have to worry about all these people who don't have the money to buy it, but they would rather just steal it because they're like, I want it, I can't afford it, so I'm just going to take it. And I can't stand people like that, and it's sad that there are actually people like that in the world, but they are there. And I'm going to take a left up here because this thing's got a dip from hell. And so you really got to watch out for people like that. Now I'm about to bust. Actually, I'm going to take a right then a left, go around this thing, because that dip, dude, I don't know, they have not fixed that thing, and that car almost bottomed out. I don't know if you saw it in the rear view. So I mean, I would seriously invest in the security features. I know it's expensive, but it's 100% worth it, because if it does, say your car does end up getting stolen, I'm tracking it. We're coming for that car. We're coming for you. You ain't getting away with it. Not happening. Or if you have the kill switch, they ain't going nowhere anyway. And I don't make this video to like scare people. To scare people out of having this car at all, any means. Oh my God, these railroad crossings are brutal, dude. They want to build all these water parks and stuff, but then you got these railroad crossings that are just brutal. And it's not meant to scare people out of having this car. This is a super fun car to have. I love this car. I love this car. But you have to realize you're driving a car that everyone else pretty much wants. And some people will do whatever it takes to have it, including stealing it. So protect your ride. I mean, this is my baby. This is like my child. Protect it. Do what you gotta do. Now, there's another option we didn't really talk about because YouTube's kind of iffy on it, and that is the Second Amendment route. Highly recommend if you don't live in like California where they just ban everything for no reason. Take that Second Amendment route. Because I'm telling you, you try busting my window to get my ride, you're going to get a hell of a surprise. You're going to get it. But anyway, this was not meant to scare people. Get the car if you want the car. It's fun as hell. Look, here comes another one. I don't know what that is. It's a Hemi V6. It's fun as hell to drive. I love this car. I wouldn't give this thing up for nothing. But you just gotta remember, you gotta protect it. You gotta do what you gotta do to keep your stuff safe. But anyway, I hope this has been informative. Hope you've enjoyed the little bit of pulls and the little slide we got back there a second ago. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. We're going to keep these going as much as I can. Try to keep y'all informed on up-to-date stuff. I'm going to try to get into the news and see what all is happening. Because around here, nothing really happens because in Tuscaloosa is like 101,000 people. Not near as bad as like Atlanta or Charlotte. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope to see y'all in the next one. And we're going to get a little goodbye pull right here for you guys. So to end this episode, Friday. Woo! Let's see. Did I make it without getting pulled over? All right, I think we are safe. All right, guys. if you don't see me on the news, I will see y'all in the next one. Y'all have a good one.